President Trump claims very interesting UFO files will be revealed, and the Pentagon promises that there will be never before seen details and information concerning these UFO, UAP craft technology coming from perhaps extraterrestrial, non-Earth entities. But this is not the first time we hear about UFOs. We've known that we've had legends and records of them and ancient texts recording them since antiquity. We also have the Anunnaki from the Zecharia Sitchin Sumerian legends. We also have the flying shields of the Hopi Native Americans. The Hopi flying shields, mythical aerial vehicles described in oral traditions, and they claim that they were metallic, saucer-shaped crafts capable of very high speed travel, associated with third worlds, in other words, extraterrestrials. They called them the Anu, their friends. Of course, very similar to the word Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens. So these vehicles are believed to have been used in warfare as well before the current Fourth World, according to the Hopi Native Americans, and some linked by commentators to ancient technology and catastrophes in our world. The Patavota translates to flying shields and described looking like or being a type of a disc, metallic disc. They were created by people in a previous world who had become technologically advanced, but also eventually spiritually corrupt. Some interpreters connect these legends to unidentified aerial phenomena, what we call flying saucers or UFO, suggesting a long history of sightings in the four corner regions of the United States. And the increasing presence of these flying shields is sometimes interpreted by wisdom keepers as a sign of the end of the current Fourth World, according to the Hopi legends. The narratives are part of a complex body of Hopi cosmology and legends involving migration and creation of worlds and the Kachinas, the stars, beings, or spirit messengers. That is according to the Hopi legends. But we also have the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, the race of deities mentioned in the Sumerian mythology, revealed to us by Zecharia Sitchin. They were considered to be the sons of Anu, the sky god. Again, the Hopi Native Americans called these entities using the flying shields Anu, that they came from the skies. These deities, again, the Anunnaki or the flying shields of the Hopis, were revered for power and wisdom and their technology. They were believed to rule the earth and even the underworld underneath the earth. So what does that mean? Maybe they believe that they were beings that are still hidden from us in the interior of our earth. The Sumerian records on cuneiform tablets talk of the Anunnaki and their intervention in human affairs, attributing to the creation of civilization and the transmission of advanced technology such as astronomy, agriculture, architecture, medicine, weapons, and anything else. So the writer, as we said, Zecharia Sitchin, popularized the idea of the Anunnaki, that they were not of the earth, they were extraterrestrial from the planet Nibiru. And according to him, these gods arrived on earth about 450,000 years ago, and through genetic engineering created Homo sapiens by mixing their DNA with that of primates of the world. And in the series Ancient Civilizations, these theories are explored through various archaeological proofs and ancient texts, offering insights into influences of the Anunnaki on human history. Now, the information concerning extraterrestrials and government records or secrets, Trump is directing the U.S. government to prepare release of files on extraterrestrial aliens and UFO or UAP technology of these entities. So we'll see what happens. It's still not being revealed, even though since January, February, we were told we will have information regarding the extraterrestrial contacts and government secrets centered on the events having to do with the U.S. government's investigation into UAP, or what we call UFOs. As of early 2026, the government has not confirmed contact with any extraterrestrial intelligence, though public and political pressure are calling for disclosure, ET and UFO disclosure. So the aspects of the government, a 2024 report says that there is no evidence of extraterrestrial life and that most sightings are explainable. They could be drones or hot air balloons or scientific balloons or classified projects. But there are whistleblowers who allege that former officials such as David Grush testified to Congress that the U.S. has a multi-decade non-human crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. Activists and journalists and former officials like Louis Elizondo, who was the former head of Pentagon's ATIP, lobbied for the release of this classified information, and even Dr. Stephen Greer of the Disclosure Project, who has had various seminars and lectures and events having to do with whistleblowers and credible government officials who have had contact or sightings of UFOs, especially around U.S. military bases and nuclear facilities, claiming to have contacts of the second or third kind, have disclosed what they know. So there is a lobbying for the release of this classified information, and the government, they say, is still hiding a lot of UFO technology. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office of the United States, the Pentagon Office, which is right now maintaining investigations, managing the investigations, noted that while some UFOs may be foreign adversaries, others could be things that are not yet understood with the technology that we have. There are those that have conspiracy theories having to do with this. They refer to Majestic 12, a purported 1947 committee formed by President Truman, and that they were to investigate aliens and their technology, which the FBI deemed completely bogus. But we still have President Trump claiming that very interesting UFO information will be revealed. He said that the Pentagon is still preparing to release some very interesting UFO files, and they will generate a mix of buzz and skepticism. He started stroking interest in the extraterrestrials in February, directing the federal agencies to release their records on extraterrestrial life and UFOs. Since then, he has built suspense, tantalizing updates teasing imminent release of documents never before shared by the U.S. government. He said, "We're going to release a lot of things that we have not." Trump said recently at the White House celebrating NASA astronauts, he said, "I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people." He portrays himself as a president who spills the secrets, and he ordered the release of records related to what happened to President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, to disclose this information. Now, Trump said the American people deserve transparency and truth. Now he turns to what we have going on in the skies above us, suggesting that answers to decades-old questions should be given to the public, especially concerning alien extraterrestrial life and technology and unidentified flying objects. So he says the first releases will begin very, very soon. This is what he told people in April at a Turning Point USA event in Phoenix. He said, so you can go out and see if that phenomena is correct. You'll figure it out. But there are scientists who caution against expectations having to do with all this. Citing national security, Congress created an office in 2022 to examine UAP incidents, events, and declassify as much material as possible. And the new UAP incidents found no evidence, they said, that the U.S. government had ever confirmed sighting of alien technology. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office is now working with the White House to release, quote, never before seen UAP, or what we call UFO, information, according to the Pentagon. So readers should not get their hopes up that there's going to be some document with photos interviewing aliens when they came down, he said, because that just does not exist. And there are images and videos that they claim to show alien technology and tend to have mundane, very explainable details. Modern infrared cameras used by the U.S. military tend to capture jet engines and hot objects in a long thermal bloom, which some say explains the viral videos of speedy, pill-shaped objects. So the Pentagon is not still disclosing UFO reports, a GOP panel claims. The task force on declassification of these secrets has been maintaining its own investigation into reports of mysterious aircraft near U.S. military installations, which people say pose a threat to national security and, of course, the armed forces. And recently, the task force heard testimony from current and former service members who described UFO UAP encounters. In one of them, the senior Navy official said he was off the coast of California in 2023 when he saw a glowing tic-tac shaped object emerging from the ocean, linking up with three objects similar to that, and they sped away in an instant. But it was not only on the west coast that we had these types of observations by Navy personnel. It also took place on the east coast of the United States. And also, of course, we did not have just the United States involved in UFO UAP events. We have most countries in the world that have such similar events. Now, what does the Vice President J.D. Vance claim concerning all this? He claims that he's obsessed with the UFO files. Trump appears skeptical about extraterrestrial life. He said, I figured this was a good crowd because, he said in Turning Point, because I know you people, you're really into that, and I don't know if I am, Trump said. And why he made the revelation there is unclear. A day earlier, Trump spoke to Las Vegas, not far from Area 51, a top secret Cold War test site that has fueled UFO conspiracy theories. And Vice President J.D. Vance described himself as obsessed with UFOs. He said he's been trying to find out what was going on in Area 51 since he took office. It's back in Hollywood, upcoming Steven Spielberg movie Disclosure Day. Former President Barack Obama made a splash February when he declared that aliens are real, and he later clarified that he had seen no evidence, but the odds are good there is life out there, that we are, in other words, we are not the only ones that could be existing in the whole of the cosmology. So this is from Fortune, and also, of course, what we know concerning the Anunnaki and ancient aliens and flying shields of the Hopi legends. So what is going on up there? Are they watchers? Are they Nephilim? The Anunnaki, some say, are still around us and hiding in plain sight. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.